Hi, I'm Kari Tillman. I'm with the Brett Torino Foundation. Thank you for joining us at our Be 100% podcast, where we inspire people to be 100% in no matter what you do in life. We are in studio at the famous, world-known Torino Ranch. And I've heard this is the most exceptional podcast station out there. Can you deny that? Right? No?
No.
So we have some wonderful guests. These two in particular are near and dear to my heart because, well, they inspired me to continue doing what, has ended up developing up here. But also I just had such great experiences with these two throughout the year. So there's a lot of ground to cover. So we're going to try to get it all in. But first, introduce yourselves.
I am Mary Grace Rendina. I go by Latte.
And I am Katie Johnson. I am Mary Grace's sister, and my camp name is Shrink.
Shrink. Wait a minute. Your child's name is not Shrink.
No.
Okay. You changed your name.
I changed it.
Right.
It used to be Supernova.
Uh-huh.
Galactical kind of spacey.
Right.
And then I named my daughter Nova. So I had to change
my Okay, we'll get into more of those details because that's a really beautiful story. So how did you two, let's start from the beginning, right? So 1999, I met you at our first camp. It was Camp Cartwheel, and you were both campers. So why were you both campers at that camp?
Well, my mom actually brought us up. She had a dear friend who had a passion for camps, and you might have to check I was a little kid, so the history. But my mom just was very involved, and she had a friend that was very involved, and part of those that wanted to make some memorable moments for children affected by, different issues in life. And that one was childhood cancer. And so I first visited Camp Cartwheel, I think at a different location, and then we came here.
Originally they were at the Boy Scout camp.
Yeah, the Boy Scout camp.
And then your mom also showed up when I first met the three dynamic women. It was Paula Trujillo and Kelly Walters. We got to give a shout out to them
because amazing women.
Yeah, amazing women, and we would not be here today if it weren't for those three. I mean it. So those are my favorite years because they were just like the first year is the sweetest year. I think we had 52 campers. Remember, it was just so sweet. And I had all the little ones, and that's where I met you because you were 5. Yes. You two are the two longest standing camper now volunteers. Literally, you were here the first year. I know, you're the only two. How crazy is that?
That is crazy. Wild. I guess I never think of it like that.
Yeah. So you guys grew up here. And I know there was a couple of years in between where you guys were living your life and you weren't here. Your mom was just hardcore dedicated for years and years and years. And now she's so happy being a grandma. And even your brother came up with you. So it was like a family affair. And I remember just falling in love with you. I mean, I wanted to stuff you in my pocket and take you home and keep you. And your mom was like, absolutely, that's not happening. But then your mom and I just absolutely, had a mad love affair. And I've always adored your mom. Her passion seeps out of her pores. She's so dedicated to anything she gets involved with. So anyways, I wanted to give some history because there's so much history here. And now you two are volunteering at different levels, and share with us where you're at. Maybe also share for the listener your experience throughout the years and what this has meant for you because you're still here. Yeah. You're still here.
For me, I think it has truly shaped who I am as an individual. Seeing and going to camp as a kid were the best childhood memories I could have ever dreamed of, and the people that I met up here were people that I aspired to be like. Seeing the kindness, seeing the love, and bringing that back into the real world, I was like, I want to be like that when I grow up, those people. And then now, camp has really been like a catalyst in the choice of career path that I've taken. I do philanthropy consulting, and it's for organizations like this that truly are making a difference.
You could give them a shout out. Go ahead.
Moonridge Group and Sunshine,
they're wonderful.
But yeah, I think it's great that people are being exposed to different things, getting out of their comfort zone, teaching them their own strengths for the counselors and the campers, so that when they go into the real world, they can be the best versions of themselves and just adapt and lean into those things that make them who they are.
Okay, that's beautiful, and thank you. I mean, you two have such valuable stories around the whole camp world, volunteerism, the family, the generational. You've met your husband here, which we'll talk about, and you have a baby, and it's just so cool. I mean, really, it doesn't get any better than you guys. It doesn't. This is, to me, one of the strongest memories I have. Just knowing. Plus, I was the coolest
You
counselor
were.
ever
Yes,
on the
you
planet.
were.
Yes.
And I was like a jungle gym. I had one hanging from every limb. I had the little 5-year-old. So to me, I was in my heaven. And I have the fondest memories. And I still have my photos of all of us like in our cool group. It was just fun. I got to make you all up like little dolls. It was more fulfilling for me than it was for anybody else that year.
I constantly check myself and I'm like, what would Kari do as a counselor now?
Oh yeah, we remember quite a lot hanging out with you, even down the mountain. It's,
I know.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
so
Well,
much history.
we won't talk about the saloon. That saloon has a lot of our history, right? Hey, we all had to blow smoke off too
Yes.
at the end.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
still a tradition.
yeah,
Weirdly, like it's just for camp counselors.
I know.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So tell us about you, Katie.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, my mom started coming up early on and was involved in just kind of the childhood cancer community in organizations. And then I ended up getting cancer. And so we continued to come up, and I was just a visitor camper before. And then I actually was a camper at Camp
Yeah.
Cartwheel, and my siblings came with me. And it was actually kind of nice because it was really an escape that I was already familiar with. And it definitely made that time in my life a little bit easier. And so, but fast forward through the years, that was probably like 2000 or
Really
something.
quick
when I was-
though,
yeah.
tell everybody listening, you're healthy, you're happy.
Oh yes.
You healed, you recovered.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
I'm
want to make that note.
over 20 years, like in
Cancer-free,
remission,
yeah.
cancer-free. Yes.
Good.
Very healthy. So, yeah, I came here, and as I got older, I was a teenager and just doing my thing, and stepped away for a little bit, and something was just missing in my life, and I don't know, I need to be redirected, and I thought, like, I need to get back in there, like I need to be grateful, and I don't know what that was that pivoted me, like when I was 18, but I was like, I can do things now. I'm at this age, and I have a choice to make. I can do certain things that veer me off the course that I really want for my life, or on the course. And volunteering at camp was one of them. And just kind of giving back, like sharing my own story to kids that were currently going through it. So I started becoming a counselor, and then yeah, just on and off started coming up here. Through the years, I think 2014, I was a counselor, and I met my husband up here, which was amazing. And we love sharing our story because what better match can someone find than a fellow volunteer at a place like this?
Right.
For for a camp for kids with higher needs, and on the autism spectrum, and just a huge heart. And we ended up, I mean, we're married now. We've been together over 10 years, and we have 2 kids.
10 years. Thank you for aging me considerably. Oh my God.
Yeah. And so now we come up together, and it's always been this
Yeah.
consistent thing. And yeah.
That's a common theme, by the way. Like a lot of families that, the generational, like giving back, and they make this their annual family, bonding time. And I think that's so cool. That's, if that isn't a true like testimony to what, the experience you'll have, I don't know what would be, So, yeah.
It is so bonding, especially not having technology and just being in nature. We're doing a lot. Like this year, my husband's a group leader, I'm a group leader, but we feel so happy and good, and it's a reset for us.
Yeah.
It's busy and it's so fun. It's just nice to be kind of in an oasis outside of real life.
I bet too. This is like the best pillow talk conversation, right?
It is,
Like,
yeah.
honey, what did your campers do today? Like,
No,
the
it totally
sweetest.
does. It's like,
Yeah.
you get caught in the monotony of life
Yeah.
and same conversation. Then we go to camp and it's like new,
Whole
fresh things to talk
yeah.
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me happy too. So, uh, what made you choose Camp I Am TLC? Like, what made you choose these camps to volunteer for?
I think the whole concept of being at Trina Ranch and volunteering with kids that appreciate every little thing is a reason why we just started volunteering at all the camps. But TLC and I Am, at least for me, has such a special place in my heart because autism doesn't get the attention that it needs and it's very misunderstood. And so for me, it humbles me and it allows me to just have a better understanding of like kids with
Mm-hmm.
autism. And it's just the simple things in life that make them so happy. And that just brings me so much joy when they're happy.
Yeah. What would you say, like, the differences between what we call typical kids, and you both have children now, so versus children with autism? Like, what do you think? Why do you think society continues to really define such a separation between the two? You know, like,
It's funny because the first thing that popped in my mind was like, there's like very little. Like once you
Yeah.
get to know, when
It
I'm
really
up
is
here,
the
I
same.
forget
Yeah.
that I'm working with kids on the autism
it
spectrum.
becomes typical
And
up
I'm like,
here.
yeah, it becomes very typical up here. But I mean, if I had to say, it's just the hyper focusing and just certain, just very particular things. And there's, I guess, for me as a parent, between my own kids, there's a lot more strategy and just kind of fine tuning when interacting with that particular child.
Mm-hmm.
But again, to me, it's not too much. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I find it refreshing because they're so brutally honest, sometimes brutally so,
yes,
right?
I
And
love
then
it.
they're so authentically themselves.
Right.
They make no apologies. It's sad to me that they know they're different at some level, and then some of them don't, right? I don't know which is better or worse. I can never understand because I'm not that. I do think I'm somewhere on the spectrum. I definitely know. My OCDs pop out all over the place. So, and there's some of that. And I just noticed the same. Sometimes my nephew he's nonverbal and has a lot of but the actions, something ties me to, we have similarities is what I'm trying to say. So that's fascinating to watch and realize it, whereas sometimes they don't know that. All they know is who they are. But I think they feel sometimes like they do stand out because others make them stand out. And so do you guys notice that at camp?
Yes. I mean, I guess, how I see it, when they're here and given the space to explore, try new things, they are totally different from what their parents tell me. Because it's not uncommon that I'm down there and one of our good friends is the owner of Sports Social, and that is a facility down there that works with population. And so I'll run into parents and share about their camp experience and working with their camper and just being with their camper.
And the parents are like,
And they say, they did what?
I know.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They don't like the lake?
What do you
I was
mean
like,
they ate
I
corn
couldn't
on
get
the
them out of
cob?
the lake. They were swimming the whole time. They were on the rock wall. They were, and I think a lot of it is that they get to be in a position of independence and feel that sort of trust in new environment. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? The parents want to protect them. That's the bottom line, right? There's fear based around, they don't want their child to experience bad experiences. So then having to trust coming to camp, big leap of faith for these parents. I'm not sure I would be able to do that. I've thought about that a lot when I've been talking to parents in the past, trying to convince them to trust us, and just, trust this process. and then the kids have the most amazing time, and the parents got sleep for the first time in 20 years, something like that. So, what would be a message, like if you could help people understand autism better, what would be that message to any listeners out there that still have this, have little understanding around what it is? How would you help them just, you know,
I would say do your research. They're just kids being kids.
mm,
And like Katie mentioned, their strategy and particularity is something that makes them so unique and special.
yeah,
And I would say just get involved. Don't let difference hold you back from knowing someone and learning about them and interacting with them, because there's so much brightness. Everyone has, all of these kids have so much to offer and have taught me more than like anything. Really, it's just interacting. And so
mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my message. Get
Very
involved.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys, both of you, so much. I mean, I just adore both of you. You guys have developed such strong life paths, and it's, admirable. I mean, through everything that you guys been through, but you have beautiful parents too. So there's that. But now you become beautiful parents. Super cool to see. So, are you guys going to continue to volunteer for like any length of time? What does that look like?
Of course. We want to be able to bring our kids up here and volunteer with
Yeah,
them.
I know.
Keep it going throughout the generations.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely planning to continue this. We brought our cousin up to help
Yeah, I
volunteer. She
heard.
brought her
Yeah.
fiance up, so it's yeah. We'll
Oh, when's the big day?
continue.
To be determined.
That's all right.
Yeah.
No hurry, right? Good for you.
That's right.
Yeah, good. I'm glad life's good. You both look beautiful.
Thank
It's nice to see you. Thank you.
For having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah, and
Thank
give
you
you.
for making this happen.
Thank you for
Thanks,
it. It's a tribe effort, right? I always say, we always look to one person. It's not one person. This has been a huge undertaking for so many, and it continues to be. And I hope your children do get to grow up here, and I hope one day they're counselors and they get to have a story. Maybe I'll be floating around, and what they'll have at that time is like hover wheelchairs or something.
Yeah.
Please God, no, I'm joking. But yeah, I mean, when I think about the years here for me, I just, I'm very proud, very happy. My heart smiles huge all the time, just knowing the ripple effect and how many beautiful people I've been blessed to get to know. So, and you two are top of my list. I mean it. Yeah, you guys changed my world. You did. So lovely having you and get to come full circle. Give your parents a huge hug. Okay.
Well,
Without them, you wouldn't exist. So I'm thankful to them too. Thank you for joining us on the Be 100% podcast show. If you would like to get involved in any way, volunteer, donate to any of the organizations that we've had as guests on the show, please look at the description below. Definitely like us, love us actually, or follow us even better. And we look forward to delivering the next episode to you, so stay tuned.